Okay, our third question, and we'll start this round with District 9 candidates, and Tim Mitchell will handle the question first. A voter with the County Juvenile Court asks, our local non-profit agencies serve an invaluable purpose and are very important to Marshall County. What volunteer work and nonprofit boards have you been associated with that would help you better understand the needs of the citizens of Marshall County?
Thank you. As was stated in my bio, I have been involved with several different civic groups and nonprofit groups. One of the ones that I'm affiliated with now that's really dear to me is as probate judge, we have a real need in our county, the state, and nationwide as far as guardianships for our aging population. 2 years ago, we were facing a serious problem. We had family members of these elderly citizens that were either mentally, physically, or monetarily exploiting their families. Some DHR or somebody would have to step in and ask that we appoint somebody to take care of these individuals. Obviously, we couldn't appoint a family member because for whatever reason. Some of our aging population here have no family members here. So I got together with a group of people. We established the Marshall County Volunteer Guardianship Program. Our local bar association, we had 25 members of that group to volunteer their time to be a guardian, and we've gone around to civic groups telling the members of the groups about our situation. We've got volunteers from our community now, and it's really helping out our situation. I want to take that further. I want us to do something as a state to take care of our aging population. Most of us in this room are in the baby boomer era. It's going to be an issue for us in the near future. But that's probably the number one. I'm also on the court referral board. I've been president of local civic groups, Albertville Lions Club, Lake Guntersville Civitans. I've been on the board. Okay.
Thank you. Clay Schofield, same question, 2 minutes.
We had this question at the last forum, and I have not served on any boards, but I do know how critical these organizations are, and I know how this office affects them with funding, and they will count on my support. I want to take a little bit of time right now to talk about something that will directly affect them, though, and that's our state's finances, our state's budgets. This issue really bothers me, and you need to know what's going on. Right now, the state of Alabama is running off federal stimulus dollars. That money runs out next year. We're going to have a serious budget crisis. We're already having one. This means that if it's not checked, proration is going to be higher, which troubles me. That a lot of our funding, a lot of our entities are going to be cut even more, and they're cut as far as they can. We have to have people in there who are fiscal conservatives, who believe that government should run the way that we run our households, the way that we run our businesses. You know, you've probably heard my ad that Montgomery doesn't have a revenue problem, it has a spending problem. We need to get them spending our money more effectively. We deserve that. And one of my goals is to get on the budgeting committee, because I will be a watchdog for it. I will be a watchdog for your tax dollars. We work hard for it, and we should demand that it is spent wisely, fairly, equitably. And so you have my commitment that these entities, we have to make sure that the funding is there, and it begins at the state level. Thank you.
Thank you. Tim Mitchell, a 30-second response.
I'm a little confused. we've been using federal stimulus money, so evidently we do have a revenue problem in the state. I think the education budget and general fund budget, both people that work under those, I guarantee they'll tell you that we have a revenue problem. One of the things I want to do is give you an opportunity to vote on a lottery to help with education, but I think we do have, at this point, more of a revenue problem than we do a spending problem.
Thank you. I'll repeat the question. What volunteer work and nonprofit boards have you been associated with that would help you better understand the needs of the citizens of Marshall County? And that question next goes to the District 26 candidates. Randall White will have the first opportunity.
Well, I have worked with an organization fairly large through the years. It's called GED. We help thousands and thousands of people to get better jobs, to go help them get scholarships and grants to have a better life and serve their families. My program was the largest state. Let's cut out the other two counties, DeKalb and Jackson County. Let's just talk about Marshall County. Marshall County, you can go to Montgomery, to the post-secondary two-year college system, pull up the records, and you'll find out that Marshall County classes altogether were larger than most of the three county classes, county programs in South Alabama. That's a fact. You know why? Because I was passionate with my job. I worked hard. I put a lot of time into it. And because of that, we had a lot of people to become a lot better citizens. I worked with a lot of agencies. Every agency in Marshall County I've worked with at one time or another. The Red Cross, Council on Aging, employment service, spent a lot of time in doing employment service, helping people get jobs. I've also worked with the hospice program some along, but every agency in Marshall County, I have been in their office, I have worked with them, all of them knows me by my first name, I know them by their first name. We have a great rapport. They knew they could rely on me to provide a service that they needed, because when their clients was helped by our program, they knew that their program looked good also, and it would help their people do better in life. So yes, I have worked with an agency that helps thousands of people, and these people lives will keep their children in school, because we're in a vicious cycle of school dropout. So yeah, that is the avenue I've taken through my life.
Thank you. Mr. Rich, 2 minutes.
I've served on numerous boards and civic groups, Red Cross, Kiwanis Club. At one time I was involved in so many that I wasn't doing a very good job with any of them, to tell you the truth. But what I have done in recent years, first of all, I'm a member of the Rotary Club, but what I've done in recent years, I've spent most of my time involved with my church. I'm a member at Hewitt Memorial Methodist Church in Albertville. I sing in the praise team. I also sing in the choir. I'm a member of our jail ministry team, which has been a real blessing to be a part of that. And I've concentrated most of my efforts and my time in that area in recent years.
Thank you, Mr. White. A 30-second response.
Well, we've got to work with our agencies. They've got a reason they're out there. They're out there to help folks. So we got to support them. I know our funding is limited in Montgomery, but at the same time we got to find ways to keep these programs going, because they help so many people to better their lives, to help them get jobs and help them get clothing for their children, to help them get food, help them get medical care, help them get insurance of some sort so they can take care of themselves.
Thank you. Now for District 27, Mr. McLaughlin.
Thank you. I want to say I've been blessed. My wife's here, my 3 children are here, or one of them I think. I was fortunate enough to be raised in a wonderful family the Lord let me be raised up in. And I think it's important to give back. That's what service on these organizations is about. Volunteer work is trying to give back to your community. And as usual, whatever you put into something, you generally get it back in much more in return. In other words, I learn a lot more from serving on a lot of boards than I probably give them in benefit. I'll tell you that right now. One of the things I worked on was the United Way campaign chairman. I did that for 2 years. Raised money to try to help needs in Marshall County. Do you realize how many people out there have needs that aren't addressed any other way than by the generosity of people like you and people in industry and people throughout this great county? But I learned a lot doing that. Let me tell you, I worked on the Marshall County Foster Parents Association. A lot of kids out there whose parents don't raise them anymore, and their grandparents or their aunts or uncles or somebody that's not related to them at all are raising them. And the Foster Parents Board helps those folks. Serve on the PALS Board. That's something that I think is pretty important. We need to keep our county clean. Work on I've volunteered my time for the TVA Association of County Governments. Volunteered my time for the Family Resource Center. A lot of need there. My goodness, there's a lot of need out there of people that can't support their families. And I've done a lot of volunteer work within my church. I'm on our finance committee, and I teach Sunday school. I don't know whether my children, including my daughter, appreciate that or not, but I enjoy that work, and I think it's important, again, to give back in my own church. I would tell you some more, but I think it's important to realize that there's a lot of needs in Marshall County.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.